Welcome everybody, Scott with Decoy Pro, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to get permission to hunt private property. So if you're like me and you don't own your own land to hunt on, then you're going to need to find private property to hunt on, most likely. And so what I would recommend is Hey, welcome everybody, Scott with Decoy Pro, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to get permission to hunt private property. So if you're like me and you don't own your own land to hunt on, then more than likely you're going to need to get permission to hunt on somebody else's land. And so I am lucky enough where I do know a few friends and family members that I can get to hunt on their land at times. But the thing is that, geese aren't always there. And so if I'm looking for new spots to hunt, it's really important to be where geese are actually feeding. And so I'll spend some time scouting, and then those are the places that I really want to get permission to hunt, is the places that had geese on there that morning or that evening, and I'm going to go hunting the next morning. So, the biggest challenge then is how do you get permission to hunt those places? And for me, I would tell you that the biggest fear that I first had to overcome myself was just, that fear and intimidation of asking strangers to use their property. But I'll tell you that most of that fear was just internal. People, what I've found is nobody's ever been mad at me for asking, and the worst that they can say is no. So, what I do is I'll go and I'll try to find those areas where the geese are, and then it's, you try to identify who owns that land. If it's a farm field, hopefully you can see that the farmhouse is real close by, whatever it is, and you just gotta, the first few tips is I never wear my camouflage clothes or my hunting clothes when I go to approach the door, just because some people don't like hunting, and I don't like to add that element of hunting to the first interaction with them. So I just, it shouldn't take you much to take off your camouflage hat and your coat and those type of things, and just, approach as a non-hunter, because sometimes I think that impression could be that they think you've already been hunting on their land without permission, or even if they don't give you permission, that you might still go out and go hunting. So just take it off for that time. Also I'm really conscious on how I approach the property. I try to definitely put a smile on my face and just really approach it as friendly as possible. And when I get to the door and I knock and I ask them, I'm always really clear right away to let them know who I am. Let them know that I'm from the area or whatever, and just try to say, hey, I'm really passionate for goose hunting, and I noticed that there's some geese out in your field. Would it be okay with you if I went hunting here tomorrow? And I think it's really important to tell them the exact times that you're going to be there. So if, let's say it's a Friday night and I want to go that Saturday morning, or all day Saturday, or the entire weekend, it's really important to let them know the times that you're going to be there, so that they're not taken off guard when you're there, and there's never any confusion. And so it's really important to tell that. Certainly never go a time that you don't have permission to hunt. The other thing is that you can ask them where you can park. So that's important. One is you got to ask them if you can drive out in the field or whatever, or some of the best places to park. I just want to make sure I'm as respectful as I can with their property. Also, you can ask them, hey, where do you think you'll see, where do you see geese out here the most often? Because they're going to be the ones that would know. A couple other things is you can always do a favor in return. So let's say, it's a place that you want to hunt at quite often. You can offer to go out there and help them with, chores for an afternoon or something. I mean, if it's a farmer, for example, they always have things to do, and if you can help them out for an afternoon, that's very important. And that might help you build a long-term relationship with them, where you could go hunting for many times, repeat in the future. Another thing is you also want to, or one other consideration is, I do a lot of goose hunting with my daughter. She's currently 8 years old, and I do like to take her with when I go to ask for permission, especially when it's a time that she's going to come with. And there's a couple of reasons. Is one is I want to teach her those skills for successful hunting when she's older, because she will need to ask for permission to hunt on her own in the future if she chooses to. And also there are people, a lot of people do have a soft spot for children in their hearts. And so if you bring a child with and you let them know, hey, my daughter's going to come, me and my daughter want to go hunting tomorrow, would that be okay? A lot of times that might even increase my chances of getting permission. And so that's just another thing I like to do, and it is helpful. And again, you're teaching your child some good skills, and it also can help increase your success. And then the other thing you can do is you can just bring them small gifts and make sure you say thank you to those landowners. So, you know, not everybody does like goose meat or whatever, but let's say you do other hunting, like deer hunting or whatever it might be. Maybe you could bring some of that to the landowner and say, hey, thank you, and, you know, give them something in exchange, or maybe you bake some cookies in advance, that type of thing. You know, that can all help. And, you know, as an example, I've got a couple places that, you know, I've done things like that. I always make sure to say thank you. And those people have given me their phone numbers, and I can simply call them up anytime I want to, and they'll let me go back to their property, and, you know, I pretty much can hunt anytime I want. So, you know, doing it in a kind and friendly manner, and, you know, showing your thank you, or showing that you're thankful for them allowing you to hunt, those are all critical skills and things that'll help you continue to get permission to hunt private property. So hopefully this information was helpful, and I'll talk to you in the next video.